Entire ecosystems are collapsing.
Yes, I nailed the intro. I had to push 2 buttons to do that, guys. It was very special. So welcome to Dex's Bull Panel, minus our main man Dex. He could pop in at any minute, but we have a feeling that he's not going to make it tonight. So, but we'll carry on just for a few minutes without him. Welcome everybody. We got 4 cheese pasta in the audience, so that's going to make all the difference. But Will is here, Kramerica is here, and I'm here, Frank from PulseWave Trading. Head over to PulseWaveTrading.com, get access to our reports. Got a wonderful sale going on right now, $100 off with coupon code Brandon, and that's only for our pro membership, which of course gives you access to literally thousands of PulseWave reports that are published every weekday evening, and extremely powerful to get access to all of that. So check that out, PulseWaveTrading.com. Head over to the pro membership, click on that, coupon code Brandon, you'll get $100 off for life. So we start off with a little, I would say a little bit of levity, but there's almost no humor whatsoever in what Saturday Night Live does. So it's like, I'd like to say we were starting with comedy, but if you've seen the clip, it's just brutal. So not only did they try to make fun of Joe Rogan, which just seems so dangerous to me. And Joe Rogan's been pretty hard on SNL lately. I don't know if you guys follow much of what he does, but he's actually been talking about how awful it is to work there because his friend Jim Brewer went on and on one episode about how bad it is. So then they have the guts to pick on him, and they repeat the thing that many people are calling for Rogan to sue CNN over, which is claiming that he took horse medicine. And I know it's a comedy sketch, but they literally said that he was eating horse medicine, and he starts feeding it to this big bird thing. So I don't know. Another day in clown world. Anyway, guys, we just had a bit of a flash crash-ish, down 62,000 Bitcoin heading into the week. What are you guys looking at this coming week? What are your thoughts on Bitcoin? I've got the daily on the left. I've got the weekly on the right. I'll blow up the daily for now, unless you guys want to look at something else. But Will, let's start with you, man. Uh-oh. He's here.
My bad. I am so sorry,
We're live, buddy. No, it's cool, buddy. We're live.
Are we live?
Yeah, man, we went for it. We figured we'd get started. So we just
Okay.
been moving around up until now. Will was just about to chime in. We're looking at Bitcoin. We've got it on the daily. It just had a drop. The high of the day was 63,600 and change, and we're down to 62,000. So, Will, what say you on Bitcoin, my man?
It's just catching those FOMO guys. They catch on 67,000. So now they're washing them out before it'll go back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We came into today a little bit of a mixed bag for Monday. We had the negative momentum, but the market is still in a position where it can actually rally. I think we're just finishing off from a few days ago. Back on November the 10th, we ended the day with a crash alert sell signal, and we saw that get filled. A little bit of a delay. It didn't get filled until November the 12th. So I think the market's just kind of like lingering from November the 12th. And that's where we are right now. So I think the market probably will try to make a decision. Is it going to lock in and try to hit one, test the high again? Or is it going to continue to fall from here? So that's kind of like where we are. It's like where it's negative money flow right now. As you can see, the market's being distributed. But, we talked about this a week or so ago with GBTC, the ETF that tracks it. And remember, we talked about the gaps that need to be fulfilled. There were also some gaps on the Bitcoin futures that we talked about. And I think that's what you're seeing right now. You're seeing that the market is trying to make up its mind. Is it going to run and try to fill those gaps first and then rally, or what? So that's kind of where we are right now. The market's like, it doesn't know what it wants to do, because it seems like every little pullback that we get, it leads to a new high. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not calling the top in the market. No way, no
Right.
how. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that it does appear that we could be in the beginning stages of that process, if that makes sense. There was a key indicator that I used to have. Maybe I'll have to bring it back in, but you could tell when the top was going to be in, and that's when these two indicators started to diverge from each other. As long as they were moving together and they were the same price, then the market was going to continue, to move up. But once they diverged, the moment that happens, it signifies the top in the market, and we haven't gotten there yet. I can look. I'm looking at what I'm looking at right now, and it's looking like there is a possibility that the market could be getting ready to possibly do that. It's a hurry up and wait and see kind of thing.
Right.
But right now, I'm not calling it just yet because we haven't like taken out any major supports, and just to give you an idea of how much this thing has moved, in order for the market to take out a major support, it would have to drop precipitously from the current level, and we're nowhere near there. If you look at the dashboard and what we got on the weekly, it is so far removed from today's price. That's not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Craymerica, this is one maybe you can jump in on. Wizardry pointed out that Taproot was priced in. This, of course, was an upgrade to Bitcoin that took effect this week. And just your thoughts on things like that. I mean, I know people who are excited about Bitcoin may be excited about things like that, but how much does the market reacted to that?
I suppose it could have been a sell the news kind of thing, but
Right.
it's not really even on my radar. It's just Bitcoin.
Yeah, and this kind of goes for all of you guys. Do you think that the big money cares about this kind of stuff, or does it just care about whatever hype is going on about Bitcoin? Anybody? Like, in other words, does the market does the big money pay attention? Do you think the big money really actually pays attention to what's going on technically with Bitcoin?
Are you asking us?
No, I think the big money doesn't give a darn.
No, big money was buying at 20 as soon as it crossed 20K. Big money was getting in.
I'll give you. I'm glad you brought up big money. Let's take a quick look at what big money does, since you want to go there. Big money pulled out because they believe that the markets are in a topping formation. And as a result, they lost $50 billion of their net worth. Who am I talking about? No one knows?
Oh, you're talking about Elon?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Oh, okay.
Elon Musk. Yeah.
So you want to know what the big money is doing? The big money is taking the money and running.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. And plus, you had the whole Bill Gates marital issues that I think were staged because they both know that they're both like evil people. But it gave them an excuse to sell off stock, and the same thing happened with Bezos.
Yeah.
And there's other big names like that I've heard selling stock, but I can't think of them right now.
No, I like this theory a lot. That's been bouncing around for a while, that these divorces are fake. It's awfully convenient that two of the world's
they probably
three biggest
probably divorced long ago.
Yeah. Or what does even marriage even mean to these guys? They're so
it's a signal, my man. It's just a signal.
Yeah, it gives them good cover to get out of position, though.
Yep.
Of course, we saw last week. I'm at the point where my entire life now is just trolling people. I'm not even a real person anymore. I posted on my Facebook this morning. I wrote, I'm trying to figure out which character in Revelation Bill Gates is. You guys got to remember, I used to be a preacher, so there's a lot of people who freak out when I say things like that. But well,
hey, are you surprised by anything anymore?
But he made that announcement about the about smallpox last week.
Oh yeah,
very creepy. He also on the same day, him and Fauci both went did a big time. What's the word I want to use? they way rolled back the expectations on the vaccines. They both admitted that they're not stopping transmission. Gates spelled it out. He made like bullet points about what it doesn't do, and said, we got reduced whatever, but of course it doesn't reduce transmission. I mean, he was just like going for it all in the same week.
So, guys,
smallpox them not working anymore.
The smallpox deal, did they not just have what was it? The government bought like $130 million of smallpox pills or something, like some new med that was created for treating smallpox, like for a disease that's already been eradicated.
We got to feel the supply then. Yeah. If that's
but you know what you're not hearing? You're hearing all that, but guess what you didn't hear today?
What?
Your president that you voted into office,
not me,
decided that he was going to use the N-word. All right, doing a speech commemorating the veterans on Thursday, but you don't hear no mainstream media talking about that.
Oh, dude, they were making all excuses for him.
Yeah, you mean
he checked it and said it wasn't true?
He did. It is true.
What?
He used the N-word.
Oh, I know.
He did?
Yeah, yeah, I saw the clip.
Wow.
Yeah, he used it. It's done. It's a done deal. He did it.
That's a preferential treatment right there.
His brain is so addled that he thought the word that people thought was okay to use 30 years ago was still the good word.
Look, and you don't hear none of the talking heads bringing it up, and they're trying to do fire control.
He didn't mean it.
Oh my God.
He meant every word of it. But you don't hear them calling for his impeachment or anything. What's up with that?
I have known literally since 7th grade that Joe Biden was a living gaffe machine. That he was, I always thought, unelectable. He's had more racist gaffes and more racist things. It's unbelievable.
Well, you're still right about the unelectable part.
I was gonna say, I love how you said how you just dropped it after Dex said you voted him in, and you're like, no, they didn't.
Yeah, let's get real, people.
Yeah. So I think the next thing we should talk about is just how high do you think Bitcoin is going to go once the first nuke is detonated?
So you're saying Black Swan?
Do you think that a nuke being detonated would make Bitcoin go up?
Yep.
But don't you think this is the thing, Dex? I always feel like there's going to be some kind of massive sell-off when something really bad happens, and then
that's stocks. That's stocks. That's stocks. This is Bitcoin we're talking about.
Yeah, I know, but what about all the big money that's bought Bitcoin? Don't you think they'll dump it too, or do you think they'll be smart enough to hold it at that point?
Nah. All right. Let me explain to you guys what crypto really is at the end of the day. Okay. At the end of the day, crypto is really a commodity, which means in the throes of chaos and Armageddon, it's going to go to the moon.
Okay.
Just like gold and silver during hyperinflation, so goes the crypto world. Because crypto becomes even more precious as fiat is crashing and burning. On 9/11, it wasn't gold and silver that went to zero. It was the US dollar in relation to other currencies. Commodities went through the roof. They were unchartable. You couldn't get a price for them anymore. It literally went off of your chart. If you were looking at intraday chart, the price would have went off of the chart. Because in times of chaos, that's when commodities thrive. The worse the chaos, the higher the price. Same thing with your Bitcoin and your altcoins. Let them come out tomorrow and say, breaking news, all of the corn belt is up in flames. And watch the price of corn go to like $400 a bushel.
Now, not to interrupt, but this is pertinent, Dex. I know a lot of people in the crypto community, at least our part of it, the sort of waiting for the end of the world part of it, are expecting that everything's going to crash when everything crashes. That the everything bubble is going to pop, and then maybe we'll see it come back.
It depends. If it's a financial thing, if it's a stock market thing, a market thing, a market event.
All right.
Then yeah, Bitcoin and everything can crash together. But if it's a catastrophic thing, oh heck no.
I like
if it's
that.
catastrophic, Like, oh, you know, a nuke just went off, or a bomb went off somewhere, or a terrorist attack
Maybe a
on a
currency react.
9/11 level.
Maybe a
Oh,
currency.
heck yeah.
Maybe a
Cryptos are going to
currency
go
event.
bananas.
I think a
Yeah,
currency event will make a melt
right.
up for cryptos.
It has to be a catastrophic event like a famine, you know what I'm saying, flooding that destroys crops, fire that destroys crops. Just like for instance, you know how like with another way to look at it is when it comes to the meat market, right? If there is a report of mad cow or something like that, meats always get smoked. You know, feeder cattle, live cattle, pork bellies, they could all be doing great. But as soon as a report comes out, mad cow, cows can't stand up, they're falling down all over the place, the market just goes limit down because that is a supply demand issue. Do you want to eat meat that you know may be tainted with mad cow? Of course you don't. But it's the opposite effect when you talk about Brazil is experiencing an ice age, a mini ice age, and now the coffee beans aren't going to be sprouting. Unusual weather makes it so that we're not getting no corn, wheat, and soybeans. All the fields are pretty much is a wrap, disease written, whatever. Yeah, when you look at the prices, the soybeans, corn, and wheat are going to be catastrophically unaffordable. Same thing with your crypto. It'll be a supply demand issue. If people think that the old system is dying a lot faster than they thought, then they're going to be wanting as much of the new economy as possible, and the new economy is where your cryptos come in. I heard a report. Then they were saying just how much crypto is being built out underneath people's nose because they're not reporting on it. I didn't know this. I didn't know that there were some applications going on that a lot of the major banks were behind, and they're building out infrastructure and a lot of stores. And I mean, like, it's like under the radar. I didn't know how big the project really was. I was just focused on the market aspect. I knew the exchanges in the US were getting ready to, totally revamp from the ground up a crypto exchange by itself. I knew about that. And I know that next year Turkey goes online. And it's going to be, they're trying to have the largest financial center in the world. And they're backed by Qatar and other places that are funding them. So that I knew about. But I didn't know that just how much crypto is being used without our knowledge. We don't even know. I didn't even realize that they were building out blockchain stuff like crazy underneath the radar. There was a report. I was listening to it over the weekend. I don't know if you guys, if you ever heard of Rick Edelman. He's a big famous financial planner, whatever, financial advisor. And he was giving a report. I did not know that crypto was bigger than we could have ever imagined. And the governments are salivating over it. I mean, that's what it was. It was some local municipalities here in the States that were switching and making their own blockchain and their own crypto coin.
Oh yeah, Miami.
And I was, no, other than them. I know about Miami. As I say, I have to find you the report. I was blown away by
it. New York mayor also says he wants to get paid in Bitcoin. And
that's what it was. Yes. He's not the only one. There's some other governors and mayors that are saying that they're going to be getting paid. They're following his suit, and they're going to be getting their salaries in Bitcoin. That's what it was. You just reminded me. Yes. That's how big this is. Now, you should ask yourself a question. Is Bitcoin really going to zero if a governor, a senator, whoever says, you know what, I'm going to forgo paper, just go ahead and pay me in Bitcoin? That means they know something that everyone else doesn't.
They want to hype it.
Yeah, we're way past that. We're so past. It's like, the logic of Bitcoin and its utility and its functionality. It's just something that it's kind of, people say it's inevitable. Crypto, and you get that sense that it's becoming so useful. And now, as people are seeing inflation, they're seeing what happens when they print to infinity. They're seeing how incredibly corrupt these governments really are. It's becoming overwhelming. And people have got to be waking up. So, listen, we went way long. We got to let these guys go. So this was a great show. Great audience, great panel. Thanks everybody for being with us. We appreciate you all.
Sorry I was late.
No, not at all, man. You
No,
were
it's
you
okay.
actually we were only on for about
Okay,
a minute, and I was blabbering
Yep.
on about something stupid, so don't worry about it. All right, thanks everybody. We are over and out. Thank you, panel. Thank you, Dex.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Peace. Hey,
Adios.
make sure you catch us on Thursday. Me and Dex are having a great time with our hangouts. They go on for a long time in the Discord. So make sure you look for that every Thursday morning, and we're probably going to be starting to squeeze in a lot more of those. So pay attention to the channel. Cool things are coming. Peace.
Peace.